of My Life, Chapter 21. We were all in the living room, standing and staring at Henry, who sat on a couch with crossed legs in front of us. He was in a white jalamiya, a gown that mostly Muslim people wear, with brown sandals. His face was still covered with the same mask he wore the first time I stepped into this mansion. Likewise, everyone. I scanned around and wondered how many members were in this room. Was Bella here? I looked away, not interested in counting any of them. I breathed in alongside a good scent of the room as I looked everywhere, carefully noticing how beautiful and dust-free it was. The black and white patterned curtains were drawn away, giving more light to the room. The air conditioning was on, making the room cool. The chandeliers, which were turned on, made the room brighter and more beautiful. This place was amazing. I'm not surprised to see you looking around because this place is super attractive, and I heard you barely look everywhere when your friends were showing you around. But since you are back here, you can take your time too, Henry said, watching me. Yeah, thanks, I said nervously. I was back here to be a member officially. Good. Now let's get started. You are welcome again. Remind me of your name. Nice. You just completely forgot my name. Tussin. Jensen Tussin. So, Jensen, welcome. Today, I will give you something to read out. Not just to read out, but to assimilate it. It's a must. I held my lower lip with my teeth bossy. There are the rules to follow. Rules? I blushed as I jerked my head forward. Yes, rules. The rules you have to follow so you don't misbehave. Henry brought out a card, and on the back of it was written rules of gangster, good ones. For all I knew, gangsters meant criminals, bad ones, heartless ones, and cruel ones, but we were the exact opposite as they told me. Where did the good ones come from? Hey, give it to her, Henry said as he passed the card to a guy near to him. No, I will do it. Jasper stood up, collected from the guy, and gave it to me. It's so nice to see you again, Jasper said, stroking my face as I stared at his white muscular arm. Jasper was wearing a tank top that was revealing how muscular he was, which caused me a stupid thought from nowhere. A stupid thought that made me yearn to touch his chest, just to know what it felt like. Seeing him so close to me made me realize that he was white and not albino. His eyes and skin color made me realize that. Stop flirting with her, Jasper, one of the gang said, and I removed his hand from my face gently, coming back to my senses. I never, in my 18 years of life, had such a thought. Shut up, I wasn't. Just glad she's here, Jasper said and went back to his seat. Open it and read it out loud, Henry said. I looked at the card I was holding and recalled it was the same card Henry had brought out from his pocket in the dining room. Maybe he had intended to give me that day but changed his mind. I swallowed the spit that had built in my mouth as I was nervous about what was going to read out. They were gangsters. No, we were. But the good ones, right? Yet we handled guns, go on assignments, fight battles, and that alone was enough to make us gangsters. My fingers trembled as it opened, and right at the top of it was written rules in red ink, and everything else was in black ink. Hmm, I should read it out. Henry sighed impatiently as he gave me a cold look. Yes, please do, he answered reluctantly as he positioned himself well, eagerly waiting for me. Okay. Calm down, okay? Nothing you read there will scare you out, and you are shaking. Tussin, Jasper said in his so nice voice that unbelievable assured me. I closed my eyes for a few seconds, nodding my head, wondering if any of the members had gone through what I was going through right now. I briefly ran my eyes over the rules and saw that it was 12 rules. 12 rules? My eyes widened. Astonished at the rules I was going to start voicing out, they were all written in italic. Henry began tapping his leg on the floor, and I could sense he was growing impatient. I took that as a cue to start, as not to piss him off more than he was. I will start right now? So start. Rule number one: no abandoning of other members during a fight. So there will be a fight for real? I thought, scaring myself. Condemning others based on their race, height, religion, color, background, beliefs, etc. is prohibited. There was an excellent rule here. Raping is a taboo. Okay, maybe these rules weren't as bad as I thought. Bullying is not allowed. A relief from nowhere soothed my body. I was loving this gradually. Scornful comments of one's talent are forbidden. You encourage instead. I needed this greatly since my adopted father had always had a way to making me feel low self-esteem that I wasn't talented enough, and it had started when he changed. I needed to hear good hypes to build me up. It was like this particular rule was made for me. Killing one another is prohibited. Great one. That probably would restrict some aggressive humans to overreact over minor issues. We carry out assignments based on clients' orders, especially when they are the victims. Alright, fair. Do not go into the house next to this mansion. I looked up from the card and saw the house through the sliding windows. It was an entire apartment in a mansion that was painted in white with a black gate. I clearly recalled my friends not taking me there when they were showing me around. Why couldn't we? So cryptic. I took my eyes off it, gazed at my boss, and went to question him, but I kept my mouth shut. Masks should always be worn whenever there is a new member. So, I got the first time I got here. Revelation of our secrets to outsiders is not allowed. Doing our otherwise is punishable, except you are trying to get them in. In the process of that, say less to convince them, not first. Oh my god, I prevented myself from glancing at my besties who had been secretly telling me about the group even after their mother faded. They knew it was wrong. However, they still went ahead of tell me all that went through in the group actually not all. I could vividly remember their reluctance not to tell me things at times. Why? Why did they do that when they knew the danger? They trusted me. The answer came to me easily. No backing out once in. I get that too. Henry had particularly emphasized that clearly. If all of the above rules are broken or one of all is lawbreaker, will face a death sentence. That what? It was then that I knew that I was going to spill a word my besties had told me before to everyone. Even after I got familiar with the gangs, I closed the card and became aware they were all staring at me. What now? Summoning courage, I approached Henry and stretched out the card to him. He eyed it and said, You understood everything you read just now? Yeah, obviously, I replied and put down my hand when I knew Henry wasn't going to collect it. Keep it, Cousin. That's your copy. It should be a reminder of how you should behave and shouldn't. You can have fun because we do. Oh yeah, let her know, one of the members said and laughed. Well, no. She has to read out, and the rules, we can go straight to the point where she has to see our faces. Jasper asked as he was about to remove the mask from his face. Sure, of course, you can see their faces, but not mine. Why not? I asked before I knew what was coming out of my mouth. He chuckled, stood up, and came forward before leaning his face to mine. Well, not forward enough to feel his forehead on me, because nobody gets to see my face, not anyone. I flickered my eyes and shut my eyebrows up when he had said registered in my brain. What do you mean? I thought you mean. Yeah, the air that escapes from his mouth rested on my face. Straight looking at me, he was a few inches taller than me. Nobody here has seen my face before, and I intend to keep it that way. The only person who has right to see my face is my assistant, Jasper, my best friend. To clear some thoughts that are possible in your head right now, if your friends haven't told you, I want you to know that the Discovering Group has been going on for 3 years now. I started this group when I was 19 years old, and you have no idea what I look like. Not even a picture. You learn more about me from the guys. So brush the thought of seeing my face, alright? Why? Why I wouldn't he allowed us to see his face? Was it bad? Did he have brutal scars? I asked myself as I locked eyes with my boss. Different thoughts flew into my head, wondering why he didn't want us to see his face. How was he going to cope with wearing a mask all the time? He was 22 and had been running this group for the past 3 years now, so he sure knew how to go about his life. I took my eyes off his and looked at Toyin and Bisola, who hadn't spoken with since we last saw each other at the restaurant. Now can we? Jasper interrupted my thoughts. Sure, Henry said, and the members obliged as they pulled the mask with 4 holes off their faces. 2 holes for the eyes and 1 hole for the nose and one for the mouth. I stepped back to where I was standing before and took a careful look at Jasper first. Jasper was cute like he had boasted, and I was no doubt charmed by it. His hair was long, black and bound in a small ponytail. He grinned at me, pointed at his face, and said, Jasper. I grinned back at him, thinking that he was full of himself with his cute face, which I wouldn't dare to deny. Toyin, Bisola, have this car key, your prize for being in a new member. Henry picked up the key and threw it at Toyin, who caught it with excitement. My besties of 19 years of age had a car, and that they wouldn't dare tell their parents. Henry smiled at them, gave them a thumbs up, and left the sitting room to whatever he wanted to. The gangs congratulated them with a pat of their backs, while I was so carried away, seeing the two of them with anger and pain in me. I was exchanged for a car? Wow, you two will share a car? How are you gonna do that? Sukani asked. Turin can have it. Bisola smiled and Turin, who widened her eyes in amazement. Turin jumped up exuberantly as she hugged Bisola, screaming happily with a tiny voice. I snapped out of my thought, knowing wasn't going to congratulate them at all. What was there to congratulate them on? For being fooled in exchange for a prize? Still seemed to let that out of my head. I ignored my besties, turning my head around just to see some of the games. Looking up for my reaction, I smiled awkwardly at them, trying to pretend I was cool with everything. I'm Bella, Bella said as she came to hug me. She smelled so nice and looked so cute. Nice to have you join us. Thank you. I responded and looked her through. She was 20 years old and a mother of a 2 years old baby girl who was I'm going to see later. Bella left me and went sit beside Jasper. I looked around at others inside the guy that was neighbor to Victoria. What was he doing here? The guy had called her a drumstick without thinking twice. I stumped toward him angrily as I knew boldness overwhelmed me before I punched him right in